day is long and the night is yours alone. When you're sure you've had enough of this life, hang on. Don't let yourself go. 'Cause everybody cries and everybody hurts sometimes. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along. When your day is night, hold on, hold on. If you feel like letting go, if you think you've had too much of this life, well, hang on. 'Cause everybody hurts. Take comfort in your crowns. Everybody hurts. Don't throw your hand. Don't throw your hand. You feel like you're alone. No, 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 you're not alone. If you're on your own on this life, days and nights are long. When you think you've had too much of this life, so hang on. Well, everybody hurts. Ladies and gentlemen. Wanna get a belly full of beer. My old man will talk about some strangers to you and me. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, but I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it in the air tonight. Oh Lord, oh Lord, but I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, but I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it in the air tonight. Oh Lord, oh Lord, but I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I can feel it in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
Thank you very much. It's great to be in Lumberton, and I'll tell you, we have a lot of friends here. They said, please stop by. We said, let's do a quickie. We're on our way to Wisconsin and Ohio. We have some rallies, but we wanted to stop. I have a lot of friends in this group, so thank you very much. And 10 days from now, can you believe it? 10 days, 10 days. It seemed like it would never happen, right? 4 years, 10 days, we're going to win the state of North Carolina, and we're going to win 4 more years in the White House. At the debate this week, the American people saw a contrast between a 47-year career politician who's seen better days and a used public office, and really has used public office to enrich himself. You've seen that, right? And a businessman who entered public service. Believe me, with me, it's only a loss of money. I did this, and I did it gladly, because nobody has ever done what we've done in the last 4 years. If you look at it, nobody has been able to do it. For the last half a century, Joe Biden's been outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless and ridiculous foreign wars. I fight for the middle class, and Biden and his cronies serve only one class. They serve the donor class, believe it or not. Now, in all fairness, the donor class, I would be the greatest in history. All I have to do is call them, send 10 million, send 10 million. Everyone would send 10 million. But once you do that, you can't deal with them anymore. Once you do that, you can no longer do what's right for you. And it's just one of those little things. In 2016, North Carolina voted to fire this depraved political establishment, and you elected an outsider as your president. Happened to be me. And we're putting America, and I love the sound of that drum. That sounds... That's why I'm here. These people, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here for these people, right? You didn't think I'd come, did you, huh? They didn't think, because they haven't been treated well for a long time, right? You haven't been treated well, but now you're being treated well. You work hard, you raise your families, you follow your laws, you support your church, you serve your community, and you give your love and your loyalty to your country. But now you finally have a government and a president that is loyal to you. Joe Biden's allegiance is to his donors, and my allegiance is to the people of this country. That's it. That's it. In every meeting, in every situation, in dealing with every foreign leader, I am your voice, and together we are the voice of a great country. We are the voice of the United States of America, and we are respected again as a country, not like in the past where everybody took advantage of us. We're the voice for every citizen who has been neglected, abandoned, ignored, and forgotten. And maybe that's another reason I'm here, because this is a group that's been forgotten. On November 3rd, we will ensure the forgotten men and women of our country are never forgotten again. And I said that 4 years ago. I said that 4 years ago, and they said, where are all these people coming from? And by the way, just a little secret, you got to see all the people that are voting. They haven't figured it out yet, the fake news. Check out what's going on in Florida. Check out the numbers. I'm not talking about the polls. The polls, you know, although we have some good polls too, but they're the honest ones. Is that sun hot or what? Yeah. I'm going to be a lobster. Do you mind if I cut this one at about 1/3? Because I'm going to be one hell of a sunburned person. Does anybody have some sun protection for your president, please? This is beautiful. Oh, man. I said to my kids, stay out of the sun. Always use sunblock. Hey, always use sunblock. And here I am. That's really brilliant. With your vote, we will continue to bring back your jobs, lower drug prices, cut your taxes, continue to cut regulations, even more important than the taxes. You know, you got the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. I got it for you. But you also got the biggest regulation cut in history. And you want to know the truth? Probably the reason we're so strong, we're coming back stronger than anybody. They're going crazy. This is not a V anymore. It's a super V. Wait till you see the numbers that are coming out. You support our police, protect our Second Amendment, defend our borders, and ensure more products are proudly stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. Made in the USA. Been a long time since you've heard that. You know, when I was growing up, you'd have a car, made in the USA, made in America, and you were very proud of it. Other countries used to take a dollar bill, and they'd put it on the window of their car. Just a dollar bill, because they were proud of it. Now we're proud of it again. Now we're proud of it again, right? It's true. I have a friend from a country in Europe that used to take a dollar bill. Everybody took a dollar bill, and they'd put it in their window because they wanted to know it was made in America. Then we lost that pride. We lost it, but we're getting it back at a level that nobody would have thought possible. And remember when I first started campaigning, department stores, they wouldn't use the word Merry Christmas, those words, Merry Christmas. They'd say Happy New Year. Everything would be in red and snow and all the stuff, but they'd say Happy New Year. And I said, they will soon start saying Merry Christmas again. Now they're all saying Merry Christmas again. Right? We will deliver record prosperity, epic job growth. You know, I just watched Biden making a speech, and he goes, oh, thank you for everybody. Thank you. You know, there's people in cars. I don't get it. They're in cars. There were so few cars, I've never seen an audience like this. And he's going, oh, thank you, all those people out there. There's like a few cars. And the cars weren't in a little circle. They were too close together, I think. They weren't socially distanced. But there were so few of them, it didn't matter. No, but he's going like this. And then I'll tell you, his partner, the media, they made a mistake, a tragic mistake. They showed the crowd. It was a disaster. They were screaming, don't do it! Don't do it. Don't show the crowd, please. We love to show the crowd. My problem is they never show the crowd. They never show the crowd. No, he just made it. I'm watching. I just can't watch. You know, you should watch, right? You should watch because you're supposed to, like, learn. You can't watch. It's not watchable. But he's going like this. Thank you, all those people out there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Actually, I didn't think he had that kind of sense in him to do that, to be honest. I was surprised he did that, actually. But they showed it. It was a tiny, tiny little crowd. You heard a couple of horns. Honk, honk. It's the weirdest thing. You make a speech and you have people honking. I like the drum behind me better. Because that really represents something. Look at those women. They follow me all over the place. Look at them back there. Look at them. See those women? They're very wealthy women from North Carolina. And I saw them 2 rallies ago. This isn't a rally. This is a get-together with friends of mine, this one. But they go, and I saw them 2 rallies ago in North Carolina. You know, you have a big state because it was like 7 hours away from where they live. They live in a very wealthy area, I suspect. But there are like 10 of them, and they follow. And I said, how many is it so far? They said, 61. I said, you mean you've gone to 61 rallies? And then the last time we saw them 2 nights ago, they were with their husbands. It can't be that easy to be married to them if they're going to follow 61. So I gave their husbands tremendous, where are their husbands? There, 2 of the husbands are right there. 2 of them. We have a good time, right? We have a good time. You have great wives. You have great women. They're great women. Thank you very much. It's always an honor. We have a lot of people. They follow. We have somebody, I hate to say this, we have somebody. He comes in a brick suit. Did you ever see these guys? They have brick. Because, you know, the wall is almost complete. Okay, can you believe it? But the brick represents the wall. And Mexico is paying for the wall. They'd like to have you say, no, no. Once it was complete, once they knew the wall, oh, and we can't talk about the wall anymore, then they said, listen, but Mexico's not paying for it. No, they are paying for it, so now they don't know what the hell to do. Just one of those things. They don't know what to do. Anyway, but it's a great honor to have you all. Great friends. Some great friends right here. We appreciate it. This election is a choice between a Trump super recovery and a Biden depression. Okay? Oh, by the way, are you going to Ohio tonight? Ohio and Wisconsin. Ohio, you should hop a plane. Come on. Maybe we'll take them on Air Force One tonight, husbands. We'll leave you behind. It can definitely carry him, that's for sure. One thing about Air Force One, there's always plenty of room. That plane is the largest plane. Probably got more television sets in Air Force One than at any department store in the country, I suspect. But it's a choice between a Trump super boom and a Biden lockdown. Did you hear him the other night? It's going to be a cold, dark winter. Very inspiring guy. This is very inspiring. Whoa. I even said, whoa. Whoa. No, we got to have spirit, our country. You know, we're coming back. We're rounding the turn. We're doing great. Our numbers are incredible. And despite the fact that they're keeping certain states, North Carolina, get your governor to open up your state, please. This guy should be defeated. I think they're going to be voting for Dan, your lieutenant governor. I think they're going to be voting for Dan. Now, you got to get your governor to open your state. Got to get him. This is crazy what's going on here. And you know what they're doing? They're keeping it open until the election because they think that, there'll be less business, so I'll report worse numbers. But the numbers are so good. The Fed, Atlanta Fed, I guess, I think it was the Atlanta Fed, said they think a GDP 35%. Now, who knows? I take 20 right now. I take 15 right now. Nobody's ever heard of 35. They predicted just 2 days ago a 35% GDP. Nobody's ever heard of that before. It's never been. I think the record is 7 or 8%, right? So we'll be at 35. I would say that's not doing too bad. I would not put Joe in charge because you will come crashing down because he wants to raise your taxes massively. How about the other night in the debate? He was doing okay. He was doing okay. He was going. And then the last question, I said, you mean you'd get rid of oil? He said, yes, I'd wean ourselves off of oil. I said, we just won Texas. We just won Pennsylvania. We just won a lot of different places. I win. And then they spent the next 2 days trying to convince you that he didn't really mean that. Nah, Joe is not what you need. I know what you need. I know what you need. You need Trump. You need Trump. Oh, I know what you need. We're making such deals. Even as an example. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Listen, even as an example, we got off that crazy Iran deal, right? The Iran nuclear deal, where Obama gave him $150 billion for the privilege. We're making deals in the Middle East. They're signing up like hotcakes, right? No blood in the sand, no nothing, no wars. We just signed yesterday Sudan. So we have Bahrain. We have United Arab Emirates led by a great leader, a great warrior. And we have many others right in the back. Could you imagine if somebody else had to take over the negotiations of the Middle East deal? That would be the end of it. You could say, bye-bye, Middle East peace. They'd spend 1,000 times more money and they wouldn't get it done. We're spending nothing. We're getting them to be smart. They don't want to fight. They fought so long. Even though a lot of them are warriors, they're tired. You get tired of fighting. Afghanistan, we're coming home. They're tired of fighting. Everybody's tired. 19 years in Afghanistan, we served as policemen. We're like policemen in Afghanistan. We could win that thing so easy, but we're like policemen. And it's enough. 19 years. Would you say 19 years is enough? We bring them home, right, Dan? We bring them home. We're bringing our troops back home. I'm taking a lot of heat. I'm taking a lot of heat from the military-industrial complex. Did you ever hear of that? The military-industrial complex doesn't like that I'm bringing them back home. But if it's okay, we're bringing them back home. Our troops are coming back home. We're in so many countries. We're in countries that you've never heard of. And they don't even appreciate it, on top of it. They don't even appreciate it. No, we're bringing them back home. If Joe Biden and his Democrat socialists gain power, they will delay the vaccine, which is happening. I mean, we got them. They're coming real soon. In fact, if it weren't for politics, I wouldn't be surprised if it would have been here before. But it doesn't matter. They're Johnson & Johnson, Moderna. We have many great companies, really great, Pfizer, all right there, supposedly. Great stuff. They're doing that final test, and it's coming. They prolong the pandemic. That's all I hear about now. That's all I hear. Turn on television, right? COVID, 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 COVID. A plane goes down. 500 people dead. They don't talk about it. COVID, 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 COVID. By the way, on November 4th, you won't hear about it anymore. It's true. COVID! COVID! Please don't go and vote, COVID. Please do not, under any circumstance, you cannot go out and vote, except the problems are that in Florida, the people that are going out to vote, nobody's ever seen anything like it because they're tired of all of this stuff. They're tired of such negativity. Hey, by the way, I had it. Here I am. I mean, here I am. And now they say I'm immune. Now, it used to be that if you had it, you were immune for life, right? For life. With me, they say I'm immune for 4 months. In other words, once I got it, the immunity went down from life to 4 months. So I don't know. They don't know either. Who the hell knows? All I know is that for a little while, for at least 4 months, I can run in there and kiss every one of you, men and women. I'll kiss every one of them. I'll kiss them. No, it's, and you get over it, and then you're immune, and, for whatever period of time. No, it's true, though, you heard for life. You're immune, right? Immune. As soon as I got it, I said I was immune. They said, only for 4 months. They brought it down from life. Because that's the fake news. They're fake. The cases are up, but listen to this. They all talk about cases. You don't see death. Cases. You know why we have cases? Because we test so much. And in many ways, it's good. And in many ways, it's foolish, okay? In many ways, it's very foolish. Because every time you test, like, for instance, Barron Trump. Did you ever hear Barron Trump? He's a rather tall young man. He's tall, and he's a good kid, and he's strong. But he had it. They said, sir, madam, I'm sorry to inform you, your son has tested positive, Barron. I said, oh, no. 15 seconds later, sir, your son no longer has it. No, it's true. I said, how's Barron doing? Oh, he's fine. I said, what do you mean? You just, no, he's fine. They have a very strong immune system. 99.9 something, right? 99.9. Go back to school, North Carolina. Go back to school. Barron Trump. A legend. He's a legend. He got rid of it so fast. But the kids get rid of it fast. The strong immune systems. The mortality rate is down 85% because of the therapeutics and all. They learned. I mean, they know what to do. In other words, by doing all of this testing, we have the best in the world. I get calls all the time from leaders. Your testing is the best in the world. I said, do you test? No. I said, you don't test? No. That's why they have no cases, or very few cases. You know the cases they have? When somebody's sick, they call it a case. I said to one gentleman who's very tough man, runs a tough country. I said, do you test? Yes. When somebody comes into the hospital and throws up all over the floor, we test. But we never test other than that. I said, so do you have cases? No, we show very few cases. So we show more cases because we test. So Barron Trump is, as an example, it's a case. All the kids are a case. And by the way, they're very young now. You know, they're testing schools and high schools and this and that. And what it does is it gives the fake news media something to talk about. So they say cases are up in the United States. That's because we test. So India has 1.5 billion people, and they do testing. They test a tiny fraction of the number of people that we test. So the good is that we know where it is, etc., and we have to protect our seniors, and that's really the most important thing. But when you see all this stuff, watch, they'll go home. Cases are up. Cases are up, and I saw it today. But that's because of tests. Does that make sense? Now, if we cut it in half, and by the way, spend a lot of money on testing, too. You know, we're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say we're spending billions of dollars on testing. But if we tested half, cases would be half. And they'd have a headline. Cases drop magnificently. But they want us to test. And part of the reason is that we're dealing with some very bad people. We're dealing with some good ones, too, by the way, some good journalists, but we have a lot of very bad people. You saw that recently where they're trying to protect Sleepy Joe and his family from total corruption. I mean, this is totally corrupt. So they refuse. I give the New York Post, my hometown paper, right? The New York Post, great, fourth largest paper in the country, the oldest paper by far, founded by Alexander Hamilton, if I remember the headline correctly. Alexander Hamilton, not bad. New York Post is really doing the thing. And they banned the New York Post from social media. Can you believe it? The New York Post cannot be posted. But you know what? They're doing very well, and they're very proud of the job they're doing. And the country is very proud of the New York Post. But others, like the New York Times, they won't cover it. They won't cover this massive corruption that's taken place, where a son follows a father into a foreign country, and he's like a human vacuum cleaner. The son had no job, no nothing, unfortunately was forced out of the military, and all of a sudden he's making millions of dollars a year. He goes to work for $183,000 a month on the board of an energy company that has very questionable reputation. 183, Burisma. And he's on the board, $183,000 a month. His father is in charge of Ukraine, right? His father is in charge of 3. Obama, I was surprised he gave him this much responsibility, because I wouldn't. His father's in charge of Russia, Ukraine, and China. No, think of this. They put Joe, Sleepy Joe, in charge of 3 countries. Russia, Ukraine, and China, right? Is that right? You don't mind if I go off teleprompter? Isn't this more interesting? They put him in charge. See, he can't do that. He can't go off teleprompter. If he does it, he can't even go on teleprompter. It doesn't. But listen. So he's got Russia, he's got Ukraine, got China. Okay. So Russia, the mayor of Moscow's wife, who's a very wealthy man, she's a very wealthy woman, retired, give him $3.5 million. I wonder why. It must be for his great knowledge of markets. But they gave him 3.5. So when I asked at the debate about it, Chris Wallace said, no, you can't ask him that question. I said, why not, Chris? Why not? By the way, Kristen Welker did a very good job, much better than Chris Wallace. And now Chris Wallace is going on. How did Trump do? Did you see it was 91% for Trump, 9% for Sleepy Joe. Did you see that? A poll. That's when I like polls. You know, when I get them in my favor, I like them. Right? When they come in my favor, I repeat them all the time. I say they're great. When they're not in my favor, I don't discuss them. But they are wrong. They are so wrong. The worst polls are the Fox polls, believe it or not. They're the worst. You know, if you see that poll, it's the same thing I had 4 years ago. 9 states, guaranteed loss. I go into the election. I'm saying, man, this is going to be embarrassing tonight. Darling, this is going to be a very embarrassing evening. I'm not used to losing. Out of 9, I'm down all 9. I'm going to lose all 9. At the end of the evening, I won all 9. All right? I was 9 for 9. I was 9 for 9. And I said, I think these polls are a little bit off. Well, they do it on purpose. You know, it's suppression. They want to depress you so that your beautiful wife, you go out, and they say, you know, we love our president, or before president, we really like Donald Trump a lot. He could do a great job. But, you know, he can't win. The polls are saying he can't win. These polls are much better than 4 years ago, by the way. In fact, now they're getting awfully close. Now, you know, because they can't be embarrassed a second time. They can't. So they're getting a little bit too close. People are very angry at the polls, but it's suppression. You know, we really like him a lot, but let's go to a movie because, you know, he can't win. So let's go to a movie, darling, and then we'll come home and watch this horrible, horrible defeat of a person that could have been a great president. And they come home, and what happens is millions of people do that, except for one problem. 4 years ago, nobody did it. They went and voted instead. They said, let's go and vote instead of going to see a movie. The movies are no good anyway, okay? They don't make them like they used to make them, I can tell you that. We like those old movies much better, right? But no, and so they go out and they vote. And all of a sudden, remember Hillary said the deplorables? Whoever thought when crooked Hillary, I watched that expression. She called people deplorables, right? And I didn't think, do you remember the other word she used? She used 2 words, deplorable. Very good. Wow, that's a historian. I didn't think anybody would get, I love these little tests, you know? No, I love these little tests. That's right, irredeemable. And I said, that's a horrible word, irredeemable. But it wasn't irredeemable that caught on. To me, irredeemable is worse than a deplorable, right? Which is worse? I think irredeemable. I said, she just called half of the people in the nation irredeemable and deplorable. I watched it live. It was not the most exciting speech, but I said, that's a very nasty thing to say, but I figured nothing. The next day, everybody, I'm a deplorable. The T-shirt was the number one. It was a disaster. Whoever wrote that line for her, he should be out of politics forever. Do we agree? I mean, it was a disaster. So anyway, these are just little sidelights that I give you while I'm baking in the sun. My people are genius. You know, I have a very powerful head of hair. If they would have turned me this way, it would have been hitting me on the hair, and it wouldn't have hurt. In fact, it would have made me even more blonde. I'm fighting for every American of every background, race, color, and creed, including Native Americans. That's why I'm here, Native Americans. That's why we're here. The last administration promised to bring hope and change to Indian country, but they cruelly abandoned you the moment they got your vote, and they went to Washington. That's what they do. By the way, African American, for 3.5 years, they treat them terribly. And then 6 months before the election, they come and they say, I'm going to give you everything. They get the vote, and then they give them nothing. And now they're shocked because we're doing great with African American. We're doing great with Hispanic American. It's gone on for 100 years. It's gone on for 100 years. Give me a vote, give me a vote. And then after the election's over, it's like, gee, I don't remember you. Let's talk in 3.5 years from now, right? Under this administration, you will never be abandoned. I will always stand proudly with our incredible Native American communities, always. Last week, I put forward a vision for Indian country grounded in respecting tribal sovereignty, promoting safe communities and building a thriving economy, delivering better health care, and protecting Native American cultures, languages, and history. Over the last 4 years, I created a nationwide task force to combat the crisis of missing and murdered Native Americans, especially women and children, which is a tremendous problem. You know, I signed into law something about 3 months ago, and a lot of it having to do in Arizona and New Mexico, different places in the country. But it's a serious problem. What happens with murder of women and children in Indian country is a terrible thing. So we're working on it very hard, and for the first time, we have it funded well. It's well funded. And we're looking for these monsters. We're looking for these monsters that do it, and we're looking for people that are missing. It's a tremendous problem. We provided nearly $450 million to support law enforcement and fight the opioid epidemic, and we've made really big progress. And to defeat the virus, we made the largest investment in Indian country in our history. So we're working very hard because the Indian country has been hit very hard by the China plague. That's where it comes from. They say, please don't mention China. I said, why? That's where it comes from. They call it Corona. It sounds like a beautiful seaside island in Italy. No, it's not Corona. It's called the China plague. To deliver jobs and opportunity, we created more than 360 opportunity zones in Native American communities. It's had a tremendous effect. Tim Scott, Senator Tim Scott did that with me. I'm also supporting school choice for Native Americans and every parent all across America. With us today are members of the incredible Lumbee tribe, which has been wrongly denied federal recognition for more than a century. All I know is you have congressmen that want to get this moving. They said, sir, you have to be here with the Lumbee tribe. I said, explain to me about the Lumbee tribe. And they did, but you have congressmen that are with you all the way. Republican, they happen to be Republican, but what can you do? Biden and Obama promised to end this injustice a long time ago and many times, and they broke their word every single time. Just all talk. I told it to him the other night. Joe, you've been here for 47 years. But more importantly, you were here for 3.5 years ago. Why didn't you do it? All this different stuff. We should have done this. We should have done that. We should have closed earlier. Of course, he has one little problem because 2.5 months later, he thought I shouldn't have closed, right? You know. How about his line that we should have closed? I banned people from China, where it was heavily infected, from coming into our country. Biden was totally against that. He called me xenophobic. And now he goes out and says, we should have done it sooner. No, he didn't want to do it at all. And then 2.5 months later, he realized he was wrong. Same thing with crazy Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, crazy. She's crazy as a bedbug. Nancy Pelosi, in between stints without mask at beauty parlors. Hey, how about that beauty parlor owner? She was a Trump fan. Do you believe it? She was a Trump. In San Francisco, she was a big Trump fan, and she didn't like what was happening. She didn't like seeing Nancy Pelosi raring at everybody for masks, and then she walks in, hey, give me a haircut, whatever the hell you do to my hair. Give me something, give me something. I want something as fast as you can do it. No, that wasn't good, Nancy, that wasn't good. But this turned out to be a Trump supporter. Can you believe it? The beauty parlor owner. In fact, I think I'm going to go there, maybe have my hair touched up a little bit, because she looks very talented. She's good. She looks good. When I'm reelected, I will proudly sign the Lumbee Recognition Act that should have been signed a long time ago. And the people of North Carolina want that. The people of North Carolina want that, so that's good. That's great. All of your people are here. And it's great. It's a great thing. The people of North Carolina want to see that happen. Your congressman. But North Carolina wants to see it happen. Also with us today is Sonny Perdue, our great Secretary of Agriculture. Where's Sonny? Stan, I don't recognize you with the big mask. Sonny, I'm very impressed. Look at that. Wow. You've come a long way, Sonny. And he's a great secretary. We've given away, given away $28 billion from China directly to our farmers and ranchers, right? I said, Sonny, let me ask you. He's great. Secretary of Agriculture. I said, Sonny, he knows more about farming. You know, I interviewed 9 people. They were all central casting. They had one problem. They knew nothing about agriculture. One of them, I said, have you ever been to a farm? No, sir. I said, do you know what a horse is or a cow? Yes, sir. Pictures, little pictures. But I said, you've never been. And this was, standard, but they would have looked perfect. I mean, it would have been perfect, but they knew nothing. But I was all set to pick one of them because we're into the world of politics, right? And then Sonny comes in. I said, I don't want to really see him. The guy is he's been governor of Georgia, very popular for 8 years. He was term limited. Otherwise, he'd still be there. Although Brian's doing a very good job, I have to say. Really good job, the current governor. But Sonny was a very popular politician in Georgia. Would have been there as long as he wanted to be. But it was 8 years, and I said, look, I don't want to look at this guy. He's I don't want to look. He's not perfect. He doesn't set them all, meaning he looks too much like me, okay? I don't want that. And he comes in, and within 45 minutes, I knew everything about farming. I knew everything about agriculture. I learned more in 45 minutes than I learned in 45 years of studying it. This guy is such a pro. And I said, how much? I said, Sonny Perdue, the great Sonny Perdue. I said, Sonny, let me ask you, China's targeting our farmers and ranchers. How much? $12 billion from 2 years ago. Right, Sonny? $16 billion this year, meaning last year. I said, good, we're going to tariff them, all of the goods coming in. And we gave the farmers $12 billion and $16 billion, and the farmers love Trump. I mean, they love Trump, right? How am I doing in Iowa, by the way, Sonny? Am I doing okay? Can you imagine if I lost in Iowa or lost in Nebraska? But I don't think that happens. No, we did it, and we did the right thing. They were targeted. This is why no president's ever taken on China, because they play tough. They say, we will target your farmers. Well, you're a politician. You can't lose the entire Midwest. In this case, I won the entire Midwest. Remember when you first came over, you said, sir? And he shows me a map of the country. The entire middle of that map was red. Red, meaning Republican, right? But this is why. So they say, well, we're going to target your farmers. So the politician, president, would say, well, don't do that. Let's delay action. So they continue to rip us off. I didn't say that. I charged them 25% tariffs. I charged them tariffs on dump steel. We took in much more than $28 billion. We took in $28 billion times, many times, okay? And the rest went to the U.S. Treasury, if that's okay. But we gave $28 billion to our great farmers. That's why our farmers are all in good shape. And 2 weeks ago, China, you know, I signed a trade deal, but it's not the same. I thought it was so great. I signed a trade deal that was so good. It was so brilliant. It was this great deal. But I don't feel the same way. The ink was drying on the trade deal when we got hit by the plague. So it's different. Does that make sense? It's just different. I don't feel the same. But 2 weeks ago, Sonny, they ordered the largest order of corn in the history of our country, the largest order of soybeans in the history of our country, and the largest order of beef in the history of our country. You know why? Because they think I'm going to win, and they want to have me be happy. Because they're smart. Because they know the real numbers. You know, they're very smart. They know the real numbers. But no, they want me to be happy. And I appreciate that order. But our farmers said something to me that I can't. We had them in 2 years ago, and they were getting hit hard by China and a lot of other factors. And I said, you know what I'll do? I'm going to give you a subsidy. They said, sir, first time that ever happened, we don't want a subsidy. We don't want a subsidy. We just want a level playing field. And they were upset by the word subsidy. Remember that, Sonny? Everyone else comes in. They don't care. You can call it anything. We want money. We want money. Everybody, foreign nations, people, everybody, except the farmers. The only time it happened, sir, we don't want a subsidy. All we want is a level playing field. And it's so unfair. Farming has been going down for 20 years. It's been like a slide down. And now we got it perfectly. We have the USMCA instead of that horrible NAFTA deal that just kicked in. Everyone said impossible. And plenty of other things. We won't go into it, but our farmers are treated well. But China gave $28 billion, with a B, billion dollars that we divided among all of these great farmers. And we have a lot of happy people out there. And we're in that position where we made a great deal. But the bad part is what happened after the deal was made. We have some representatives here who have been incredible for Native Americans, for this particular area, by the way, for you more than anybody else, I have to say. Congressman Dan Bishop, did you ever hear of him? Dan Bishop and Congressman Richard Hudson. These are two great congressmen. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Richard. And they did it. They were the ones that called. There wasn't anybody. It wasn't Nancy. Nancy was not in favor. It wasn't anybody else. It was these two guys more than anybody else. And some help from some warriors, right? Some real warriors. Speaker of North Carolina House, a great gentleman, Tim Moore, young Tim Moore, we call him, right? Good job you're doing. And a candidate for Superintendent, Catherine Truitt. Catherine, great. Good, Catherine. How are we doing here, Catherine? Are we doing good? We're going to win? We're going to win North Carolina? We better win North Carolina. I've been back here so much, I might as well just call it my home state. I've been here so Sleepy Joe doesn't make it too often, nowhere. He likes Delaware, you know, he never leaves out. Joe Biden will be speaking today. I said, watch, it's going to be Delaware. In Delaware, you know, it's 15 minutes from. Nah, you can't do that. You got it. You need energy. To be president, you need strength, you need energy. You need strength and energy. State GOP chair, somebody who's done a phenomenal job. Of course, if we don't win the state, he'll be fired so fast, your head will spin. Michael Whatley. Michael. Great, Michael. We're looking good, Michael, huh? And Chancellor Cummings of the UNC Pembroke, its chancellor, has done a fantastic job. Where's the chancellor? Where's the chancellor? Stand up, chancellor. Great job. UNC, that's great. Good area. Pembroke. Thanks also to Susan Tillis, wife of your great senator, who's making a very strong. He's moving along. He's moving along. He's going up like a rocket ship. We won't tell you the reason why. He should do it on his own merit. But Susan will take whatever it takes, right? Right? This other guy, he talked about honor. Honor, it's got to be honorable. Not one, but two. No good. No good. But Tom Tillis is a great guy, and he's really been, we've gotten to know each other really over the last year and a half more than anything else. And I got to tell you, he's great, and I think he's going to do terrifically. And I know he's out. I said, don't come here. We've got you covered here. We got him covered, right? Go out and campaign, but I appreciate you being here, Susan. Say hello to Tom. I think he's making it big. I think he's making it big. For years, Joe Biden fought to cut your Social Security and Medicare. You know that, right? He tries to deny it. A fact which Joe, in a debate with crazy Bernie Sanders, tried to get out of. So today I want to show you. I brought it along. You know, we're giving you an A version. This is an A version. We're giving you the big rally version as opposed to a little get-together with Indian Nation. But we're giving you the big deal. So I want to show you Joe Biden on Social Security. You can't cut Social Security, right? If you're a politician. Watch this. The video, please.
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yeah.
You're right here with me.
Yeah.
Have you been on the floor of the Senate? You were in the Senate for a few years.
Yeah.
Time and time again, talking about the necessity, with pride, about cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting veterans programs.
No.
You never said that.
No.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Look, here's the deal.
You're an honest guy. Why don't you just tell the truth here? We all make mistakes.
I am telling the truth.
And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
Joe, let me repeat it again. I want you just to be straight with the American people. I am saying that you have been on the floor of the Senate time and time again talking about the need to cut Social Security, Medicare, and veterans programs. Is that true or is that not true?
No, it's not true.
That is not true?
That is not true.
I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Everything was on the table. I did not support any of those cuts in Social Security or in veterans benefits.
Whoa. Everything was on the table. All right, you're right. You just said it, including, in your judgment, cuts to Social Security and veterans.
In order to get the kinds of changes we need on other things related.
Joe, then
but we did not cut it.
I know, because people like me helped stop that. All that I would say to the American people, go to YouTube. It's all over the place. Joe said it many, many times. And I'm surprised, you can defend that or change your mind on it, but you can't deny the reality.
You know, I was making a speech a couple of weeks ago. That's how this happened. And there was a line in there done by a professional. I don't usually use the speeches too much because it gets a little cumbersome and boring. But I read one line that he cut and really fought to cut Social Security and Medicare. These are two things politically you can't even think about, right? I've seen people, they go down 40 points if they even suggest it. So I said, this must be wrong. It's wrong. They said, no, sir, it's true. I said, there's no way it's true. Then they go back and they found out. He also wanted to cut aid to our vets. Can you believe that one, right? So we went back and we found the clip, and the speechwriters turned out to be right. I couldn't believe it. So we put it up on occasion, and we're putting it up for you. So remember that. And he'll cut your Social Security. He doesn't care. He has no idea what's happening anyway as president. I will always protect your Medicare and your Social Security. For 47 years, Joe Biden supported every wretched betrayal of the American worker. How about fracking? There will be no fracking. There will be no fracking. There will be no fracking. This went on for a year. Then the primaries ended. He goes to Pennsylvania where they frack. He said, I never said there would be no fracking. No, this guy, Sonny, this guy is crazy. He's either crazy or he's the worst liar. I actually think there's a third category. I think he doesn't remember. No, I think he doesn't remember what he said 3 weeks ago. No, he says for 1 year there'll be no fracking. Then he goes to Pennsylvania, and then he argues with me. He said, I never said that. I said, I'll put it up. And we put it up. I think my people put it up about 20 minutes before the debate ended. But the greatest part of the debate was the end, right? That end was so beautiful. He's going to wean himself off oil. I said, Texas, are you listening? Pennsylvania, Ohio, are you listening? No, it's a fraud. The whole deal with him is a fraud. He was a cheerleader for NAFTA, the worst trade deal in history. Now you have great USMCA. And China's entry into the World Trade Organization, which made China into a powerful force, obliterating your industries and laying waste to your towns, your cities, your states. I ended Joe Biden's NAFTA nightmare and replaced it with that brand new, beautiful USMCA, Mexico, Canada. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, our southern border. And we're finishing the wall, 400 miles plus already built. Think of that. 400 miles. You know what 400 miles is? That's a lot. We'll be finished very shortly, and it's exactly what they wanted. I said to the Border Patrol, give me your best, just give it. I figured it would be a nice concrete plank. Boom, 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 right? Precast. That was my business. I was really good at that business. So I sort of saw a concrete plank, boom. And it turned out they don't want that. They want steel and concrete, and they want vision, and they want all sorts of things. But in the end, they were right. I wanted to give them what. We're doing it, we might as well do it right. More expensive, but we might as well do it right. So we gave them a wall that is not penetrable. And it's got hookups to every form of computer known to man, right? Remember when they said the wall is a wall, it's obsolete. I said, no, walls are not obsolete. Two things, right? Walls and wheels will never be obsolete. A chip will be obsolete in 12 seconds after they develop it. A computer, a new laptop, like, for instance, the laptop from hell. You know, his laptop. We call it the laptop from hell. Joe Biden has vowed to open borders. He wants to open your borders. Doesn't want to have borders. You don't have a country if you don't have borders. You don't have a country. Mass amnesty, sanctuary cities, and nationwide catch and release programs. Catch them, murderers, rapists, release them into our country, and they never come back. He was wrong. He said they come back for a trial. They don't come back. They don't come back. They never come back. He has even pledged free health care for illegal aliens, putting you at jeopardy because the country doesn't have the money. What happens is you have millions and millions of people pour into our country once you do that. He wants free education, free health care. If Joe and Kamala, she's another one. She's the most liberal. She makes Bernie Sanders look like a conservative. If Joe and Kamala are elected, it will trigger a tsunami of illegal immigration from every corner of the world. Tens of millions of people will flood into our country. You're not going to be too happy in North Carolina. Now, he oftentimes wouldn't say North Carolina. He'd point, you're not going to be too happy in, let's see, where are we? You're not going to be too happy in Florida. No, we're in North Carolina, Joe. Oh, I'm sorry. In North Carolina, I'm sorry. And I always say, once you do that, forget the speech, just walk off, because the speech is over. You could be the great Winston Churchill, great speaker, great orator. But if you make that mistake, I don't care how well you speak. You're in trouble, right? She said yes, right? He's done it many, many times. And the other thing he does, he keeps getting the presidency mixed up with the Senate. He said, I am a proud Democrat running for the U.S. Senate. Thank you very much. Now, the first time was not really forgivable. You know, there are some things where you can sort of say, you know, it's okay. But that's sort of like, that's a bad one. But then he did it a second, and I think a third, I heard the other day. There's something going on up there. We can't play. You know, we're playing with our country. We're playing with the greatest country in the world. We're playing with a country that has potential, the likes of which nobody even understands the potential of this country. We cannot play games. You know, we could be nice and say, oh, isn't that nice? There are some people that, frankly, are going to vote for him for that reason. I won't say the reason, but they're going to vote for him. They feel badly. They feel sorry for him. I'm sorry. You can't do that. We are playing in the big leagues, whether it's Putin or Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un from North Korea. Remember, we were going to be in a war with them 3.5 years ago. Remember? What happened to the war? What happened to the war? What happened? President Xi of China. You ever see him standing looking over the troops? One thing I can tell you, they are 100%. And they will be for a long time. And when they're not, they'll be taken out so fast your head will spin. There's no games, and we can't play games either. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military. And maybe almost as important, defense spending in North Carolina, as you know very well, you're all sitting there very happy, very rich. It soared. A lot of stuff built right here. Made in the USA, all of it made in the USA. A lot made in North Carolina. I will always stand with the great men and women who serve our nation in uniform. We have a tremendous group, except unfortunately, a lot of times they'll get these ballots, and they're military ballots, and it says Trump. We vote for Trump, Trump, Trump. And they find them in garbage cans. No good, right? No good. I just voted. I voted in Florida. I just voted. I'll tell you, I went there and voted. There is no way you get away with anything. Sir, please, could I see your identification? No, I'm the president. No, sir, I have to see. Well, here's my passport. Is that good enough? Barely, sir, barely. Well, passport. Okay, sir. You could sit down, sir. Could we give you a couple of... Can you believe this? They were so good. I said, you can't get away. There's nothing you could get. The people that I just went through, it was like a movie. It was perfect. It was so professional. And then you see, send in ballots. Thousands and millions of ballots are being sent. Send them in. This is a horrible thing. And to be honest with you, it's the only way we can lose, because I see the crowds. Joe has 14, 15 people show up for a rally. This is a rally for some friends of mine, and look at the number of people. This isn't a rally, actually. This was a little get-together that we wanted to do for our congressmen, because they've been fighting so hard for that special group of people here and there. But we can't play games. This is our country, and you should have voter ID. Everybody should have voter ID, right? They don't want voter ID. You know why the Democrats don't want voter ID? Only one reason: bad purposes. There's only one reason you don't want it: because you're going to cheat. Why wouldn't they want voter ID? They have voter ID on almost everything. You know, to get into the Democrat National Convention, we did get higher ratings than them, by the way, I hate to tell you. You know, they put out a thing, but it turned out to be very wrong. They're tough players. But to get into the Democrat National Convention, you had a card, and it had ID on it, and it had your picture. Isn't that nice? But to vote, you go ahead and do whatever you want to do. To get into their convention, their national convention, they have a ID card, and yet they don't want it for voting. Just think about that. The last administration failed our veterans. I reformed the VA, passed VA choice and VA accountability, and veterans' approval of the VA is now at 91%, the highest ever. Right? I did more in 47 months than Sleepy Joe did in 47 years. A vote for Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, a limitless future for all Americans. It's really a vote for the American dream. It is. And it's a vote for your Second Amendment. It's a vote for your Second Amendment. Remember that. Your Second Amendment. They're going to take your guns away. Sure as you're there. If something happened with me, the guns are gone. Your Second Amendment will be either obliterated totally or almost totally. And in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. And we will end our reliance totally on China. It's already started. We will hire more police. We love our police. Increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement. And we will ban deadly sanctuary cities that are so dangerous. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, the right to life, and the right to keep and bear arms. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. You have no excuse, because we have the numbers. You just got to get out and vote. If you don't vote, you're going to be very unhappy, because your country will never be the same. They'll court pack. They're going to court pack. Pack your courts with super radical lefts. Thank you. Thank you very much. We will maintain, I'd love that even longer. You could do it all day, but this sun is killing me. It's the only time I've ever stopped applause. I got to get out of here. My people did a great job. Great job, fellas. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. America will, and you know this, America will land a woman and be the first, right, on the moon. And the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. We've already started the process. And NASA now is the leading space center in the world times 10. There's nothing even close. And it was abandoned when I got to it. It was abandoned. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto. As you know, they wanted to get rid of the word God, right? You wanted to get rid. Let's take the word God out. They tried it twice in their Pledge of Allegiance. In fact, the first time I heard it, I said, oh, they must have made a typo. Then I heard it a second time. I said, that's not a typo. They took the word God out, and they politically had to put it back in, but they'll fight for that. And all of a sudden, they'll call you horrible people for wanting it. No. In God we trust. In God we trust. For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of North Carolina. For the last 4 years, you've seen me fight for you. And now I'm relying on you to deliver a historic vote in the most important election in the history of our country. The most important election. From Asheville to Charlotte, from Wilmington to Raleigh, and from Greensboro to right here in Lumberton. Lumberton, we like Lumberton. We stand on the shoulders of red-blooded American patriots who poured out their heart, sweat, and soul to secure our liberty and defend our freedom. We inherit the legacy of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trails, traversed the continent, explored the wilderness, laid down the railroads, dug out the Panama Canal, raised up our great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and landed our brave American astronauts on the face of the moon. We made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. It's coming back, and you see it. We're driving them crazy. They don't know what to do. Their heads are exploding. They don't know what to do. They've never had anything like this. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God, and together with the incredible people of North Carolina. And my little granddaughter named Carolina. But I'm going to give South Carolina a little credit for that, too. Is that okay? Is that okay? Let's give them a little credit, right? We love South Carolina. We have made America powerful again. Our military, greatest in the world. It was depleted. It was tired. It was old. Greatest in the world, 2.5 trillion, powerful. We have made America wealthy again. Stock market, record highs. 401ks, record highs. Let him double, triple, quadruple your taxes. You'll be taking your 401ks, throwing them away. You want to make room in the house that just got a lot smaller. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, North Carolina. Good luck.
Short on your dough, you can stay there, and I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the it's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, are you listening to me? I said, young man, what do you want to be? I said, young man, you can make real your dreams, but you got to know this one thing. No man does it all by himself. I said, young man, put your pride on the shelf and just go there to the YMCA. I'm sure they can help you today. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, I was once in your shoes. I said I was down and out with the blues. I felt no man cared if I were alive. I felt the whole world was so tired. That's when someone came up to me and said, young man, take a walk up the street. It's a place there called the YMCA. They can start you back on your way. It's fun to